All right. It is the beginning of a new month, and I am so excited to share this with you. Okay, so every month as we are, excuse me, every month as we are starting to prepare, and essentially you would want to do this before the month began, right? But there's no time like the present to go ahead and get started, okay? So when we want to move forward in business in a way that is aligned and streamlined and feels good, we want to have a plan, right? But not only a plan, but we want to have a vision that puts everything together in such a way that we know exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, okay? So this here is a tool, okay? It is a tool that I created. It is a growth plan for the month, and it is going to strategically help you with your content. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the top here. The first is just a reflection of last month. Always good to do that. It's just a tiny little space here. So I really encourage you to get in the habit of doing that every single month. But either way, like there's a little spot for you to do it there. And then I want you to think of your big goal for the month. What is the impact goal that you're wanting to make? And when I mean impact, it is the goal that you are wanting to work on this month that is going to bring in the majority of your new money, okay? Your new money. And maybe it's something that you don't always focus on. For instance, the Magnetic Sisterhood 5K Club is always open for enrollment. So I will always be talking about that, but occasionally I will have things pop up. So my big goal, impact goal for this month is to sell 10 spots to the content masterclass that's coming up at the end of the month for $197 each. And when those 10 spots are filled, I will have made, before taxes and you know, Stripe and all those things take out their money, I will have made $1,900, $1,970. Okay. So that is my impact goal. So I want to make sure that all the content I'm putting out, at least the majority, right? Because I'm still talking about other things like these here. Okay. These are still things that I'm selling. So I want to mention them and talk about them. My private spot, I want 1 private coaching spot sold this month, and I want 2 more spots into the Magnetic Sisterhood Club. But the majority of my content is going to be focused on this impact goal, because I want to nurture and educate and convert my network to get into this masterclass so I can really help them dial in their content in a better way so they can get more sales. And me delivering that, right, is then going to open their eyes to see the value that I do have to offer them, and might even open the door to working with me in other ways in the future. And that's ultimately the goal. So for every month, knowing what that impact goal is, there are things that you need to do for your content. And so I know not everybody here does Instagram, but right now I'm starting to really push on Instagram, and knowing that, because my group is down on Facebook, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I have my plan for that. And it's recurring, right? It's a systematic thing. So I don't have to necessarily write those down here, although the content topic ideas are what I'm going to be applying inside of my group. But everything else I can pretty much link from my Instagram to my Facebook account. And so I'm going to make sure that I have a lead magnet. Now, the purpose of the lead magnet is to virtually get people raising their hand. I know that if I am mentioning this lead magnet and somebody goes to get it, that they are interested in what I am telling them, what I'm teaching them. Okay. And so that opens the door to more conversations with the right people, which is great. So using a lead magnet or a freebie. Now, it doesn't have to be complicated. This one right here, I already had this document, so I just plugged in some information because I needed to put it in writing anyhow, so I have it every day on my desk. But I also wanted to be able to put this video along with this lead magnet. So this here is my lead magnet for the month. It will be in my Instagram bio. I'll be talking about it inside of my group. And then anytime that anybody says, yes, I want that, then if they don't already have the link, I give them the link. I can start a conversation with them. And this video training is actually attached to the lead magnet. Okay. That way they know how to do it, and they are seeing me, just like you, teaching you, giving you value, right? And so this is how it works. So we start with that lead magnet, directing people to that lead magnet. If you can see on this side, this is my funnel. So the lead magnet is going to move people into the group next. That's the next step, is for them to come into the Wake, Pray, Slay community so I can nurture them and show them a little bit more insight as to how I can help them in their business. And then I'm going to have a free training. I always have free things in my group. So I'm going to make sure that they see the invite to that free training, and I give them a personal shout out and say, hey, I'd love for you to join this, or hey, I saw that you RSVP'd. I'm so excited. And then at that free training, of course, is the sell. Like at that free training, I'm going to deliver tons of value. I'm going to help them with a specific result. But I'm also going to tell them the next step, which is, now you know this, let's go to the content masterclass where you're going to learn XYZ. Okay. So that is my funnel. So you'll need to think of the steps for your funnel. It doesn't have to have 4 steps. It just so happens that that's what the graphic here has laid out for you, but you can add more lines or not use them. It's up to you. Okay. Now, based on the fact that I know I am going to be talking about content and copy this month, what are some ideas that I could come up with? And so I have 4 lines there because I could essentially talk about one of those subjects for a week. Okay. Or I can cycle through them. I can add more things to them as I think about them as they come through the month, but at least I have a couple ideas. I'm going to be talking about low engagement, knowing your outcome when you're posting, any calls to action, how you can get people to be talking and starting those conversations, and how to refine your messaging. Those are just 4 things that I can talk about. So I'm going to make sure that I do that. And then down here, these are specific to Instagram. Of course, Facebook has Reels too, but I'm going to be utilizing these now every month. So I actually just updated this chart here to have Reels and carousels because that is Instagram related, but it doesn't have to be, right? Like you can be using this for your Facebook post or inside your group post, just cross out the line and rewrite it, or recreate this for yourself, right? Recreate a document similar to this for yourself to use. Okay. So I put in here for my real ideas, I'm going to have a coach client skip back and forth. I'm going to have one that's directly from me, as from the coach to the student or to the client. And I put Leek style because Leek is one of my mentors. And he has a very particular style and how he does it. So I'm going to be modeling that. And then have just a silly dance that is going to be about how important it is to show your own personality inside of your content. And then here on the carousels, I'm really just repurposing these ideas and the ideas that I have here, but I'm going to be repurposing them with different formatting. Okay. So carousels, if you don't know, they are just slides. So if you post them on Instagram and your Facebook is attached to it, then on Instagram, it's going to look like a sliding post, but on Facebook, it's going to show all the things together. So keep that in mind if you're sharing a carousel to Facebook. And then, of course, there's just another part here that talks about any other projects that you're currently working on or projections, things that you need to keep in mind for the future. So that is the growth plan. This would be awesome if you did this every single month. Think about the clarity that you would have. Now, some things are going to take longer seasons to sell. So like a masterclass, you might be only marketing for a little bit and you might have a game plan just like this, not overly complicated. But if you're selling a big program that you only do a couple times a year or a few times a year, your launch spread is going to be over several weeks to 8 weeks even. And so this would look a little bit different, but for the majority of your months, like this helps you to know exactly what to talk about on the different platforms and in how, and all you need to do is schedule one morning every single, or it doesn't have to be morning, right? But schedule just a couple hours every month to work on these things. So for instance, this morning I had a couple hours scheduled. So I already did all of my reels. Okay. And I'm doing now the video that goes along with my lead magnet, which I just updated as well. And then when I get off here, I'm going to quickly put those together inside of MailChimp to be able to have people register and then deliver. And then what else am I going to do? Oh, and then I'm going to work on my Canva images, which are simple because once you have a Canva image already done that you like, you just reuse that same style over and over again. And that also brings predictability to your audience. They know what to expect from you, which they really like. All right. Hope this was super helpful for you today. And let's see how I get out of here. All right. We'll see you next time.